just one moment you'd be gone. It's not okay. We weren't alone. Lost in your eyes, Paris night skies, both hypnotized.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Saturday night live stream Saturday, and hello to you guys in the live chat room and you early birds who are in there nice and early on tonight. Let me get you guys up on screen to see who is in the house, and I've already spotted that Mario is in the house tonight, so everybody say a huge hello to Mario in the live chat room. That's what we do on Saturday nights, and we can see Mario's guitar, actually both guitars in the background. We've got the Maton, the acoustic at the front, and then the Gem at the back. So thank you, Mario, again for sending me those guitars, and everyone say a huge hello to Mario, but a big hello to all of you guys in the live chat room. I hope you had a fantastic week and that your weekend has started well as well. So I was looking at the subscriber number just before going live, and we were at 189,999. And I think that's the first time I've ever looked at the subscriber count where I need just one more person to go over to another milestone. And I can see that Jeannie has donated in the super chat window and is saying, how do you feel? Wow, 190,000. Congrats to you. Good to be back on the live stream again with some rock horns and rock. So thank you for that, Jeannie. So it might be the fact that we have just passed 190,000 subscribers just during that first video of Paris Nord. So thank you guys for subscribing and hitting that notification bell, all of that stuff. But I'll have to check that after the live stream to see if it is in fact 190k. If so, it's just amazing. We'll keep on going and see where we end up. Thank you everyone over on Patreon. Let me get the names of my patrons up on screen just while I mention their requests and my request for requests over on Patreon. That was Paris Nord, the song that was requested over there. Let's have a quick look to see who requested that one. I think it was a few, and it was Kevin who asked for that and Constantia as well. And I will scroll down a little bit just to see if somebody else asked for it, and Marilyn as well. So thank you guys for that. I'm not going to have a look down the whole list, but we will be looking at either More Than Words or Miles Away. Those are the two requested covers, or at least a couple of them over on Patreon. So you guys can be voting for those now. Let's have a look. We are at 53% for More Than Words. So that's by Extreme, and Miles Away is by Winger. So you guys can vote for that. It'll be my version of either of those two tracks, depending on which one wins the vote tonight. So stay tuned for that. We're going to have a pick roulette later on, of course, and I think we just have one picture to look at tonight, and we'll keep on moving through things as we normally do. I can see that there has been another super chat donation, so thank you for that, Suzanne, and that was for $20. And I am just going to have a little trip back in time to make sure that I can get hold of the donations that came in before we went live. And we have one over on PayPal. Let me get the PayPal thing up on screen so you guys get a lay of the land as to where percentages go and all of that kind of stuff. And there it is, 35 to 45% go to YouTube in the super chat donations, and between 3 and 5% go to PayPal in the PayPal donations. So just to mention that Orlando had an early donation in there, and it was for $2. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message is, I may not make it, but spike the likes with lots of thumbs up. So great idea. Where are we at with the likes? Let's see what our goal is. It is 300. We have made it to 300 tonight. It's quite a hefty target, but we are at, it looks like 129 so far. Let's get that confirmed up on screen. If you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, it'd be much appreciated if you could, in order to get ourselves up to that 300 target, in order to have a pick roulette next week. And it looks like, well, I was going to say, it looks like we need 170, but now it's jumped to 169 more likes. Early test of the maths tonight, but hopefully that's correct, and I won't attempt to keep up with it just in case we have a bit of a spike going on, as it looks like we might have at the moment. But thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. It really does help the channel to get out there a little bit more, for these live streams to get out there, but also for the channel to grow as a whole. So thank you everyone for hitting that thumbs up during the live streams, but also after the live streams, because the catch-up crew are just as important for spiking those likes. So thank you guys for watching this later on, and hello to you if you are watching this on catch up. Let's have a quick, not a plug of the mug, but a something of the glass. It's a pint glass. It's a Wings of Pegasus pint glass. Not sure what we can say. I don't know whether we came up with something for the pint glass, but anyway, there it is. It's not a plug of the mug, it's just a shout out for the pint glass. And if you want any merchandise, you can get that in the tray underneath this video. There's a link in the description below to go straight through to the store, where you can get all of the clothing and the mugs and all that kind of stuff. Head over to wingsofpegasus.com. in order to get your hands on my music and Paris Nord, the song that we played at the beginning. That's one of my songs from my album called Persistence, and you can grab that album over there if you want to, as well as check out Carla's merchandise that's over there, and guitar picks and earrings, necklaces, you name it. You can get that at wingsofpegasus.com, and for all of the clothing, go to the spring.com site and you can just find that in the description below. And I'm Batman themed tonight, so I haven't got any Wings of Pegasus merch. I always said Wings of Pegasus merch, whatever that would mean. But again, letters are moving around in my mind as I talk, so that's got to be some kind of talent or advantage that I can use for something. I just haven't worked out what I can use that for yet. It's just a bit of a shame that it happens I think on the live streams mostly. It doesn't seem to happen in the analysis videos, which is weird, probably because the analysis videos I just blabber on about anything. But then again, the same could be said in these live streams. But anyway, a huge shout out to my patrons at the bottom of the screen here for making this all possible in the first place. So thank you guys for all of your support, and they do pop up in the super chat window and the PayPal window as well. So thank you guys. And just to jump into that super chat window, actually Deborah donated $5 before we went live. So thank you for that, Deborah. And the message is, Phil, pick me as the winner tonight, as I will be in the catch-up crew. Rock on. So there we have it. Deborah is our tip-top pick for the pick roulette later on, which means that Deborah, unfortunately, is most likely not to win because of my 0% record so far of picking the winner before we even spin the wheel. So that's going to be Deborah tonight. We'll keep a lookout for Deborah's name on the wheel, but she has sacrificed herself for everybody else tonight. So thank you for that, Deborah. And Paul has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message is, please spike those likes. So great idea from Paul. Keep on hitting that thumbs up. It looks like we are at 152, so we're past halfway on our way to that 300 likes goal, and it's just 1:15 midnight here, so probably got about an hour left of the live stream. So an hour to get another 150 people or 146 people involved in that live chat room. We will see if we can make that target tonight. The targets are growing. They are ever growing. On a Tuesday and a Saturday, we live stream on Tuesday nights as well. If you want to join me then, that would be great. It will also double your chances of winning the signed pick on the pick roulette. And also, we haven't yet had a t-shirt roulette, so that's something that it just goes to show the randomness of the pick roulette, that there are 4 slots, I believe, on the pick roulette for a t-shirt roulette, but we just haven't landed on one of those yet. If we do land on one of those, we're going to be sending away a custom Wings of Pegasus bleached t-shirt that is signed. So that is the thing about the pick roulette, is stuff is signed. So look out for that later. Maybe we'll land on one tonight, maybe we won't. We will have to see. But thank you, Steve, as well, who has donated $10 in that super chat window, and the message is Team Wings of Pegasus. So thank you for that, Steve, for tuning in. Let's have a little look into the live stream, live chat room. Why not? Have a look in there. We've got Patty in there, Deborah's in there, Paula, Neil is in there as well, moderating. Anne is in there, Patrick as well, and Frank and Mojo Juniper. So hello, all of you. And we did see Neil just going through there. I did the analysis video, was that last night? It pretty much was. Got such short memory, every day just rolls into the next. But we were looking at Lee Kernaghan, and check that video out if you hadn't had a chance. That was the one that Neil sent to me in terms of a request to take a look at Neil. So check that out if you haven't already, because it is some Australian country music. You get to check out what it sounds like over in Australia, and no spoilers, but it is pretty rocking. I got the guitar out pretty early on in that analysis video because there was some serious riffage going on and lead guitar. But anyway, you can check out that video that was uploaded last night. So thank you, Neil, for that request. And I did mention Neil's name in that video, mentioning that he is a moderator in the live stream, and Neil was there, as I mentioned, going through the live chat room. Also, a big shout out to the other moderators that we have in the house, which are Laurie and Carla, who you might be able to see going through. They have their names in blue, as you would have noticed, with a wrench next to their name, and they keep everything under control in the live chat room throughout these live streams. So a huge thank you to you guys, and everyone say a huge thank you and hello to the moderators for doing such a fantastic job in the live chat room during the Tuesdays and the Saturdays where we go live. So I am just going to jump into the PayPal window as well, because I know there has been a donation in there. I want to get this up on screen as well. There it is, and it was Lynn who donated early on. It was actually this afternoon, so thank you for this, Lynn. And just scrolling down, it was a donation for £10, so thank you for that. And the message is, happy birthday! Social Blade tells me that on 19th September 2011, the Wings of Pegasus YouTube channel was born. Here's to your smashing success. So thank you for that, Lynn, and you're definitely keeping track of the channel more than I am. I'll have to take your word for it that it was 19th of September 2011. So that would make this, and let me have a look, exactly, I was just checking that it was the 19th. It is the 19th here, technically in the UK. So it means that it's officially now the 10-year anniversary of my YouTube channel, which is great. So yeah, things have certainly taken off in the last few years, and probably for about 7 or 8 years, not a lot happened. I was just uploading my music and just doing live streams now and again. I mostly did those on Facebook to begin with, but nobody was watching, maybe 1 or 2 people. So yeah, back in 2011, not a lot was happening on the YouTube channel. I think it was just a combination of not being able to upload a lot, and obviously with the band, I'm just trying to think, 2011, that must have been, so 10 years ago, as soon as I started Wings of Pegasus and we'd finished Panic Attack, which was my first band that I was in, the first original band, and then, yeah, so Wings of Pegasus was the project as I set it up 10 years ago. So back then, I would have been auditioning band members, all that kind of stuff, so I wouldn't have been spending a long time on YouTube, and I would have then been out gigging quite a lot and not really uploading anything to YouTube because it wasn't something that I was heavily into at that point. And I don't think I was necessarily that switched on with YouTube and Instagram. It was still early days in the whole life, I guess, of YouTube and Instagram. Nowadays, it's all really taken off and bands just keep everything up to date. Whereas back in 2011, yeah, it really was not a lot to look at, and there wasn't much going on. So thank you, Lynn, for that reminder that it has been 10 years exactly, and for that donation. And I'm just going to scroll up because I think there's been another donation that has come in from Lucy. So thank you for this, Lucy, and the message, and the donations for £6.50. Thank you for that. And the message is, howdy Phil, fellow wingers and new wingers, spike the likes. Phil, is there any specific song that you get tired of hearing? Be honest. For me, it's Stairway to Heaven by Zeppelin. Sorry, y'all. Go ahead and slam me in the comments, but I'm sure you have one as well with some Rock On to Heart and Peace. So, thank you for that, Lucy. And thinking of a song, I'm not sure, because pretty much with every song that I hear, I can either listen to it and just enjoy it, which I tend to do most of the time, or I can analyze it. And when I'm analyzing it, I can either listen to all of the instruments individually or listen out for them in terms of what they're playing, trying to figure out the chords in my head, that kind of thing. But then listening to it from a production perspective. So it means that you can put earphones on and you can start to listen to where they've panned the drums. And for example, with a drum kit, sometimes you have the snare in the middle, your foot pedal you always have in the middle pretty much. You'll have your crashes, maybe panned left and right, but then some producers like to pan things differently. It might have the hi-hat in the middle. and it might have guitars panned left or right, or might left and right. They might have done 2 takes of them. They might have, like with Guns N' Roses, Slash would do a couple of takes of his guitars and pan one of those probably 50% left or 45% left, and then another one the same on the right, and one of those would be a cleaner tone. So it'd be playing the rhythm a little bit more chunky on the right, a little bit heavier on the left, and vice versa, and that's the way that it was mixed. So it means that even if I get tired, I don't think I really get tired of a song. In fact, I know that I've listened to lots of songs just over and over and over and over again, just because I enjoy listening to them. But even Stairway to Heaven, I mean, there's so much that you can listen out for. I guess because I listen to lots of different elements, and the production side, the instrumental side, and just the overall composition, the journey of the composition, I can get into that analytical state of mind, so I don't really get to a point where I think, oh, there's nothing more that I can appreciate about this song, because I know it all. There's always something that you can point out that takes you not by surprise, but you might not have noticed the first time through. And certainly with Stairway to Heaven, because it's a longer song, there's a hell of a lot to get into throughout that whole song and the whole performance. And yeah, especially the original version of the record. And I don't think that there's one that I can't name anything off the top of my head that I am tired of, or that I just don't want to hear because I'm bored of it. So that's my answer to that. But thank you, Lucy, for that donation and the question as well. And I'm sure everyone's not going to have a go at Lucy in the live chat room. I'm sure there are other songs that maybe you might be a little bit tired of in the live chat room. Everybody's different, and sometimes there is a song that just is on the radio all the time, and it might be one of those that you don't really like. And I don't really listen to the radio a lot, so I don't really have time to listen to any music for a long period. I might listen to tracks here or there when I suddenly get a desire to listen to a particular song. So I'll go and find it on YouTube and then I'll listen to it. But in terms of listening to albums all at once, I don't have time currently to do that. So when I'm listening to music, it's not going to be on the radio where there's just one song that might be all over the radio at that particular time. So yeah, I pretty much just pick and choose the ones that I feel like listening to at that time. But anyway, thank you for that, Lucy. And Suzanne has donated £13.90 as well. Thank you for that, Suzanne. And it is a straight up donation. So I'm just going to scroll up. And Susan has donated £15 as well. So thank you for that. And the message is, finally got a break from Tuesday/Saturday work and can join live. You and the Wingers create the best place on the internet. Rock! So thank you for that donation, and great that you can get a little bit of time off, especially on a Tuesday and a Saturday, because that's where it all goes down on the live streams, Tuesdays and Saturdays. By the way, if this is your first live stream, that's when the live streams happen, and it's 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time. So look out for that, and type in to Google your time zone and then type in London time zone, and you should be able to get the difference between the two so that you can join me live. And this is the thing, that if you join a little bit too late, then your comment won't show up in the live chat room because your comment won't have been live. But anyway, thank you for that. And just to mention, Steve has donated £5 as well. Thank you for this, Steve. And the message is, how do you create a playlist for a set on stage? So thank you for this, Steve. And I mean, this is one of those questions that you could, or I could explain for ages, but a general rule of thumb, the process that I go through is seeing the set, depending on how long the set's going to be. Say, for example, it's a half an hour set, 35 minutes sometimes. You might get 45 minutes, but generally not for original venues. Here in London, it'll be about 30 to 35 minutes. But once you've got your set time, you can work out, say, for example, 7 songs. So you've got to work out talking as well. You've got to have a space where you're telling people about your website and your album and where they can download it, all that kind of stuff, and where they can maybe get the merchandise. You might have a stall set up and say at the back to the left there is our merchandise. So it'd be great if you guys could pick up a t-shirt, all that kind of stuff. You've got to work out where the talking is, but as a overall perspective of the set, what I would generally do is have a fast start. I don't think starting with ballads is the right kind of thing to do as a hard rock band. I always started a little bit faster up tempo, probably something like Percy Johnson or Haunted, just a riff based song that's up tempo, and then maybe after the third song throw in a ballad. So it's seeing the whole set as a journey, so that you want a fast start and then you want to bring things down a little bit after you've had maybe 2 or 3 fast up-tempo songs with high energy. Bring it down a little bit for a ballad. This was the thing about Don't Cry, is even though it's a ballad, it's still upbeat. If you have a listen to it, you'll see that the rhythm's quite involved. It's not a slow ballad. So that was one of those songs that we could throw in that wouldn't totally take the tempo down. It would be a good one just to keep the feel of the set going and the energy of the set going. Whereas when I wanted to really slow things down, I'd probably throw in something like Parasnold or Amelia. And those are the slower ballads that I have in the album. But yeah, once the ballad has been there, then I'd have a mid-tempo after the ballad to start bringing things up. And then towards the end, tracks 6 and 7. 7 would always be That's Metal. That's generally what we finish with all the time because it's high energy, harmonies, ridiculous guitar solos, and it's really how we like to finish the set and how I like to finish the set with that kind of energy. So that's how I approach it. I see it as an overall journey of the set rather than just randomly throwing together 7 songs in exactly the same way that I think is best to approach an album. You want to have a journey to your album, so there's not just 7 random songs where you might get 3 ballads in a row and people might feel it's now dragging along a little bit. You need to pick up the energy, and that's pretty much how I approach live sets as well as my album called Persistence. But anyway, thank you, Steve, for that donation and that question. And yeah, it's one of those that you could debate that all night as the best way to do it, but that's just how I roll with set lists. And Renee has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Renee. And the message is 10 great British pounds for 10 fabulous years. Congratulations. So thank you for that, Renee. That is much appreciated, and thank you for the kind words about the channel. It was quite a few years early on of just having a YouTube channel and not a lot going on with it really, but then things have certainly picked up with the subscribers, the views, and the live streams as well in the last kind of 3 or 4 years. So thank you, Renee, for that donation. And Karen's in the house and has donated £3.48. Thank you for that. And the message is, hi Phil, congrats on 190k subscribers. So it's probably an official thing. We must have got over to 190,000 whilst we are live. So thank you for subscribing, everybody. And if you want to subscribe now, you can do during the live stream. You can hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, get notified for all of the videos and when I go live. So you'll be notified for these live streams, because I think sometimes they aren't mentioned as much as the analysis videos. But yeah, if you just get notified for everything, then you will be fine. Anyway, Karen's message is, or continues, hi Phil, congrats on 190,000 subscribers. I'd like to share a quote from Jimmy. Music is a safe kind of high. Thanks for your safe and positive place, full of all-around musical inspiration. Rock on, Karen! So thank you for that, Karen, and always happy to hear a Jimi Hendrix quote on the live stream. So thank you for that one. And there has been a donation or 2 in the Super Chat window as well. Let's have a look at the vote for tonight's cover video. More Than Words is still just edging it at 53 It looks like it's at 53, but anyway, the other one is miles away. So you can keep on voting for tonight's cover video. We'll be getting into that pretty soon. So last call for votes on the cover tonight. 53% is where More Than Words is at the moment, and that's the one we're going to be listening to unless you get in those votes for Miles Away by Winger. And yes, I am a huge fan of Winger, Kip Winger, Red Beach as well, guitarist for Winger. But anyway, keep voting on that. And getting into that super chat window, Steve, we got to Jimmy has donated $9.99. Thank you for that, Jimmy. And the message is, or the picture is, a cat doing a dance, I think. So thank you for that. Maybe holding some fans or something. Thank you for that, Jimmy. And Paul has donated $2 as well. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message is, shout out to the mods. Keep spiking those likes. Great idea there from Paul. And another shout out to the moderators for doing such a great job. And Ginny has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that. And the message is, Phil, from a Winger, have you ever played at a birthday or wedding? And have you ever played for drunks? What song did they like the best? So thank you for that. And the second part of the question, no, I've never played for drunks. So it's I think it's only ever been just jolly. When I think of a drunk, I think of somebody who is just absolutely plastered and can't talk properly because they've drunk so much. So pretty much just played for people who have had a few drinks, but in that space of not being totally obliterated by drink. The only thing is, I might have mentioned this before on a live stream, or I might not have, when performing for a lot of people at a venue. Unfortunately, my guitar case was left at the front of the stage, and yeah, that was going to end in disaster because everybody in the crowd came to the front of the stage, of course, and with, I think it was That's Metal, where they all started going crazy and jumping up and down at the front of the stage. I didn't realise at that point that they were all stood on my guitar case. And you'd like to think, I mean, this is probably the case that they had a few to drink, but you'd like to think that they would have looked down and gone, oh, there's somebody's guitar case there. Let's move that out of the way before we go crazy jumping up and down. But they didn't, so yeah, the front row of the crowd were jumping up and down. Of course, playing, I was loving it because I didn't realise that they stood on my guitar case. So it's great that they're all getting into the performance, and it's only until after everyone had left and I'm cleaning everything up, or should I say just packing everything up, my guitar, and then I'm looking for my guitar case and it's at the front of the stage, and it was just like that. So yeah, it didn't work, the case, after that, surprisingly. But yeah, a shame, but a good night was had by all, so it was just collateral damage, I guess, for a good show. But anyway, yeah, one of those things, you just have to deal with it, unfortunately. So thank you for that, Ginny. And yes, I have played at a wedding before, and that was one of my friends who I used to teach guitar to, and he also used to take pictures. He was into photography, so he took pictures of myself and Griff, who was here last week in the live chat room. We were having a little listen to his song called Cleopatra. But yeah, it was myself and Griff and a friend of mine who was taking those pictures. We performed at his wedding. So, but that's the only wedding gig that we've done. Pretty much at weddings, they want to hear cover songs, but because he was into my music, it means that we could play my music at a wedding, which was great. Interestingly, at the wedding, it was oh no, it might have been a birthday, actually. It might have been his girlfriend's birthday and not a wedding, but then I went to his wedding afterwards. So yeah, that was it. It was a birthday. I remember because somebody said from another part of the venue from downstairs, said, can we turn down the drums? Of course, we were playing live with a full band, and they were saying that the drums were too loud, but the drums are drums. So, and it wasn't the case that the drums were mic'd up. It was just that the drums were the drums. They are loud. So yeah, that was interesting. Surprisingly, we couldn't turn them down, unfortunately. But yeah, that was a birthday, and yeah, wasn't a wedding. I don't think we've played, or I have played at a wedding. I'm trying to remember. I know that I've done a lot of gigs So I'm trying to remember if one of those was a wedding, because I used to do cover gigs as well when I was in my late teens, early 20s. I think we were maybe thinking as a band of doing cover songs in order to get wedding gigs to try and make a bit more money, but that I think worked out that we'd spend so long then rehearsing covers that my original music would have to take a back seat, whereas I just wanted to get my original music out there anyway. As a first port of call rather than doing it on the side and being a covers band mostly. I didn't really want to go down that avenue. But anyway, thank you for that donation, Ginny. And Carl has donated $10 as well. Thank you for this, Carl. The message is 10 for 10. Cross the pond or maybe some Chinese takeaway with a smiley face. So, good idea from Carl there. I did have a McDonald's recently, but it's because I've not had it in ages. It's probably been 2 or 3 months since I've had a McDonald's, and I've been pretty good with the fast food recently. Haven't been eating too much. I really need to get on my diet for working out and having enough protein. At the moment, I think my workouts are totally pointless because I'm not having enough protein. If you don't have enough protein, at least 1.5 grams per kilogram of body mass. If you don't have that, it's not enough protein for your muscles to grow, and I'm not having that at the moment. So my muscles are just staying where they are, even though I'm exercising, and I know it's a total waste of time doing resistance training and between 5 and 7 reps per set if you're not having the right amount of protein, which I'm not. So I've got to get on my diet. That is the thing that I need to watch. I'm doing the working out, but just not doing the diet, which is probably 60 to 70% of it. So I might as well not be working out. But anyway, thank you for this, Carl. Mike has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Mike. And the message is, have you ever done any busking? Aside from That's Metal, which of your songs have drawn the most thunderous cheers? So thank you for that, Mike. And I don't tend to remember exactly which songs gave thunderous cheers. Pretty much, I think when you're just doing something with high energy and the crowd are into it, they pretty much get into the whole up tempo and energy on stage. I find that putting on a show is the thing that will get people into your performance and get people jumping up and down. Hopefully not on your guitar case, but if you just keep the energy up, put on a show, as well as play those up tempo numbers, then I don't really concentrate too much on what the crowd is doing per song. And it's just a case of getting into it as much as possible. We did have a record label type gig. It was a showcase, and this was at the Clapham Grand. If anybody's, I'm not sure that you've been to that venue, but it's a really nice venue in London, and I'm not sure how many it's, in terms of the maximum capacity, I think it's around 2,000 or 3,000, but we had a showcase there, which means that record labels come down and check out the bands on the night, and we had that, so we were headlining that particular gig, and that was a really good gig because we had a good turnout, everyone was into it, and there's just a high energy in the crowd for the whole gig. So I mean, that was a really good one. That one stands out a little bit, but as for which songs they liked or went crazy for, I don't know. I mean, That's Metal has always been a popular one. But thank you for that, Mike. And in terms of busking, I've never really got into busking. I mean, here, in order to busk in London, you need to get a license. You have to go through auditions. Believe it or not, you do have to go through auditions to do busking here in London. I mean, you can try and get away with it and not go through that process, but you could get removed and then banned from playing in London. So it's always good to do it by the book. But I think it's because my music isn't really busking type music. It's not really for an acoustic guitar or an Ed Sheeran type thing with a looper pedal. It's more of a full band sound. So I haven't really got into the backing track thing with just having one live guitar and a live vocal and then everything else done on a backing track. I've pretty much always just had a band and gone down that route. So so not something that I've done. I did used to do open mic nights, which isn't really busking, but it's a similar kind of thing. I did that with Griff sometimes and Chris. We would do things individually, just get up, play a few songs, and for that I'd probably just play a few cover songs on an acoustic guitar. So yeah, nothing really original, because like I said, my original stuff doesn't really fit, I don't think, with just singing and playing on an acoustic, even though I have done videos of that when I've been requested to do a live performance or a live version of one of my tracks on acoustic. Then I have kind of tried to work it out that way, but with the whole busking thing, I didn't get into that. Just open mic nights is as close as I got. But anyway, thank you for that, Mike. And Maria has donated $5. Thank you for that. And the message is, congrats on everything. Spike the likes. Great idea there from Maria. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't yet. We're looking for 58 more likes. We are at 242 at the moment, so hit that thumbs up, be much appreciated, in order to get us to 300 is what we're looking for tonight. So thank you, Maria, for that donation. And Patrick has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that. The message is, happy 10th anniversary, my friend. Hope we can see another 10 with a smiley face. And I hope so too. I mean, I don't have any plans on not continuing, so we'll see where we're at in 10 years' time. I don't know how many subscribers we might make it up to, but certainly 190,000 is fine by me. Any more will just be a bonus. We'll see where we end up and where the channel goes. Oh, by the way, huge news that I'm only just revealing after 42 minutes of the live stream, but I have been talking with June Millington from the band Fanny, who I did an analysis of recently because Studio Hamburg over in Germany have given me access to their vaults in order to look at some of the performances and, well, any of the performances that I want to look at, which is great. But I mentioned this to Donal Logue, who is a fan of the channel and a friend of the channel as well. He's appeared on here with me, and he's an actor. You guys might know him from lots of different films. You'll recognise Donal. If you don't recognise his name, you'll recognise his face. But anyway, Donal knows June. So Donal put me in touch with June, and I emailed June, and she replied last night. And yeah, we're going to be organising maybe a joint analysis video where we look back at one of Fanny's performances with June on guitar, maybe breaking things down, either talking about it, but what I might suggest to June is, if she can maybe plug in a guitar and she's just got a practice amp or something, we could have an analysis where normally I get the guitar out and I break down things that are going on screen and some of the lines that are being played, but I think it'd be really cool to have June actually showing us and explaining what she's doing, and we can just go through it with our guitars out. It'll be like an analysis of their own playing, but with me probably throwing loads of questions at June about her playing. But yeah, that should, hopefully, fingers crossed, be happening next month is what I've suggested to June. I know that she's got some movie premieres that she's going to and movie festivals that she's going to this month. So she's got a few of those, and at the beginning of next month as well. So hopefully after that we can get together and do something on the channel, and I will let you guys know over on Patreon exactly how that's all going. But yeah, that is some big news that I just remembered to mention. But like you guys know, over on Patreon, I give you updates as to anything that happens as soon as it does happen. And if you guys want to get involved over on Patreon and be in the loop for all that breaking news, then head over to patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus, and that's where all of these lovely people at the bottom of the screen reside. And again, thank you guys for all of your support over there. So we are going to be jumping into the cover for tonight, the cover video. It looks like it's going to be more than words, so let me just stop the poll or end it so that we get the official figures. It looks like it was 55% for more than words, and that should be going through the live chat room very soon, so we'll be able to see that pop through, and there it is. So we will have a little look at my version of More Than Words. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys after this. Rock! Hi guys, this is my first proper video of 2017, and it's my cover of More Than Words by Extreme.
and I hope you like it. Rock.
Saying I love you, it's not the words I wanna hear from you. It's not that I want you not to say, but if you only knew how easy it would be to show me how you more than words is all you have to do to make it real. Then you wouldn't have to say that you love me, 'cause I'd already know. What would you do if my heart was torn in two? More than words to show you feel that your love for me is real. What would you say if I took those words away? Then you could make things new just by saying I love you. Love, more than words, love. Now that I've tried to talk to you and make you understand, all you have to do is close your eyes and just reach out your hands and touch me. Hold me close, don't ever let me go. More than words is all I ever needed you to show. Then you wouldn't have to say that you love me, 'cause I'd already know. What would you do if my heart was torn in two? More than words to show you feel that your love for me is real. What would you say if I took those words away? Then you could make things new just by saying I love you.
And there we have it. That was my version of More Than Words by Extreme, of course. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Thank you for voting that, or voting for that in the poll tonight. And thank you for requesting it over on Patreon in the first place. So I am going to be jumping into the picture, and actually just before I do that, I can see there has been a little bit of action over on the PayPal donations window, so thank you for these donations. Let me just get this up on screen so you guys can see it as well. And it is Beth who has donated £17.38. Thank you for that, Beth. And the message is, hello everyone and congratulations Phil, working and listening. Don't forget to like a sub. Miss you guys, with a heart and prayer hands and a smiley face. So thank you for that, Beth. And thank you for the kind words, the congratulations as well. And Beth is working at the moment, so great idea from Beth. If we want to leave a sub as well as a like, that'd be even more amazing. And we're at 265 at the moment. Quick update on the likes, it's about there. We're aiming for 300 tonight, so it means we're looking for another 35 people in the live chat room to join in, to get involved, hit that thumbs up and see if we can hit our target for tonight to have a pick roulette next week. So in that live chat room, let's have a little look who's in there. I can see Rich has just gone through with a donation. Thank you for that. I will address that just as it goes through. It's for $5 and it looks like it's a straight up donation, so thank you for that, Rich. And Joni, Ginny, Sue, Gub Dig, Mel and Brian. Billy's in their house, Neil's in there moderating still. So if this is your first live stream, hello, welcome, introduce yourself into the live chat room. And if you want to join in on Facebook, if you are a Facebook user, you can head over to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. Type it into the search bar, you'll be able to find it. And that's where a lot of these live chat room members hang out between the live streams. So you can head over there and join in with that group if you want to. So let me just scroll up in the PayPal window because Suzanne has donated £3.47. Thank you for that, Suzanne. And the message is, congratulations on 190 subscribers. So thank you for that, Suzanne. And that might have been about 9.5 years ago, actually probably 7 years ago, 190 subscribers. But thank you for that, Suzanne, for the 190,000 subscribers, I'm sure Suzanne means. So thank you for that. And Giri has donated £25 as well. Thank you for that. And the message is rock. And that is it. I will try my best as long as all of you are going to rock as well. Those are the conditions for me rocking. But thank you for that. Melanie has donated £10.43 as well. Thank you for this, Melanie. And the message is, I appreciate how musically knowledgeable you are. Keep up the good work and keep making that wonderful music. So thank you for that, Melanie. And I will try my best. Thank you for the kind words. And just scrolling up because Tortoro Borgo's in the house. Richard has donated £3. Thank you for that, Richard. The message is, congrats on 10 years. Tin is the traditional 10th anniversary gift. So maybe you can buy yourself a tin of toffee pudding. So another good idea. Do they do tins of toffee pudding? I don't know. I don't think I've ever had a tin. Maybe a tin of sweet corn or something. It's not very exciting. A tin, I guess a can. We call it a can here, but I'm assuming that a tin and a can are pretty much the same thing. You can have a can of soup. Again, not very interesting. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm trying to think of something. If there is a toffee pudding in a tin, then that is definitely preferable to sweet corn for my money, and also for soup. Even though soup's good, I mean, soup is great if you're looking to lose a bit of weight. And yeah, I mean, tomato soup is probably my favorite. Heinz tomato soup, if you've had that, very nice indeed. Also mushroom soup sometimes, chicken soup, okay, asparagus soup sometimes, and that's probably about as broad as I go with my soups. I know that you can have lots of other soups, but I think here in the UK we probably don't get a lot of choices, or those are the main ones I think that we have on offer. I'm sure in other places there are loads of different soups you can get, but that's as extravagant as I get with my soups. But anyway, thank you for that, Richard. And Lucy has donated £2.50 as well. Thank you for that again. And the message is, Matrix X has asked, what do you listen to when you're sad? Ballad or fierce music, and any band in particular? So thank you for that, Lucy. And I'm trying to think of when I'm sad. I don't think I'm one of those people that necessarily am aware of when I'm sad. I'm probably too busy to know if I'm sad or not, but I don't think I am a naturally sad person. So I'm pretty much always listening to just the music that I like. I don't really search out sad music. I like ballads, just to listen to when I'm just in my normal kind of mood. I don't know. I am one of these people that looks on the optimistic side, on the brighter side. It's always a glass half full kind of approach. I think that, yeah, anything that happens in life that is negative, you can always find a positive in it. And I think a lot of people say that everything happens for a reason. And sometimes, I mean, things have happened in the past that have meant that I've landed here. So they couldn't have been that bad with hindsight. Looking back or being in the moment, it's bad. But then afterwards, you think, well, without all of those events happening, I wouldn't have learned what I did. For example, about gigs and gigs that have gone wrong, they're really badly organised. All of the things that happened in the past have pushed me down the road that I'm now on, which is basically doing everything myself and having learned to do all of the jobs that I was requiring other people to do. So it means that, I can just push forward at my own pace. And I think that's probably why I don't suffer from having bad moods or mood swings or being sad. It's because I know that I'm in control of everything. So if I'm ever sad, it's probably my own fault. So yeah, I mean, like the other night, there was an analysis video that I did where I had to re-edit it 3 times. And it was a bit of a nightmare. Sometimes I account for having to re-edit once, because that's generally what happens when a video gets blocked. I re-edit it, re-upload it, and then can get on with everything after that. But I had to do it 3 times, so it meant that I was about 2 hours behind, and it means that then rolls into the next day. But it doesn't make me sad, it just makes me, I guess, a little bit annoyed that it's got blocked. I've had to do it so many times. But I think I just get on with it, and then the next day just try and catch up a little bit in order to make those couple of hours that I wasn't accounting for back the next day, and maybe the day after that. So yeah, I don't really get sad. So thank you for that, Lucy. And I don't really listen to anything in particular when I'm feeling any different to normal, but I pretty much just feel normal all the time. I think I'm very lucky in that I don't have a history of mental illness or anything in my family, so it means that I feel totally in control at all times of my mood. And I think that's probably a rare thing to say, because there are a lot of problems, especially here in the UK. We are driving a lot of attention to mental problems and depression and addiction, whether that be drugs or gambling. There's so many things that you can fall into. So yeah, I am very lucky in that I've pretty much kept myself out of all of those pitfalls, and I can move forward knowing that I'm in control of everything, and I'm in control of my mood as well. So yeah, thank you for that, Lucy. And just scrolling up, because Sue has donated £20 as well. Thank you for that, Sue. And that is a straight up donation without a message, so thank you for that, Sue. And Lauren has donated £20 as well. Thank you for that. And the message is in anticipation for 200,000 subscribers. So thank you for that, Lauren. An optimistic outlook for the channel. We will see if we end up there or not. But like I said, 190 is absolutely fantastic. So thank you everyone for joining me tonight and for hitting that thumbs up. It looks like we're looking for 8 more people to hit that thumbs up. If you haven't done that yet, that would be much appreciated to get us to 300 likes. Let's jump into tonight's picture that we're just going to be taking a look at, and I think we're just going to have one picture tonight, and it's going to be a very familiar face, or should I say a very familiar half face here, because Vince is merched up and he's out doing his grocery shopping, but he's got his Wings of Pegasus hat on and his Wings of Pegasus mask as well. So thank you, Vince, for uploading that one. If you have any merchandise pictures that you guys want to upload to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group on Facebook, then you can do, and then I can show them on the live stream as well. So thank you, Vince, for uploading this one. And thank you for the feedback about the hats. I can't remember what they're called, but they're a different kind of hat. I don't know what they're called because they haven't really been on my radar here in the UK. It might be one of those that is used to keep the sun off your face, but here we don't really have a problem with those kind of hats. And oh, I can see there's still a picture on my software called bucket hats, so that must be what they're called. So thank you for the feedback on the bucket hats. I will get in touch with Stephanie over at spring.com and we'll get those available as well on the store. Anyway, let's jump into the pick roulette for tonight. Hopefully it's all going to work and I've set it up okay. Thank you, Carla, for sending this my way and organising it all. We'll jump into it now and I'm hoping that this is going to be the right button and I'll see you guys in a second. Rock! So let's have a little look. Here we have it. And we have, yes, the 4 t-shirt roulette segments there. You can see as one of them is just going past now. You can get yourself a t-shirt if we land on one of those. But we are going to be jumping into this pick roulette. And was it Deborah that sacrificed herself earlier on? We'll have a little look out to see if we can see Deborah's name anywhere. I can't see it as it's going through. But anyway, I'm going to give this a spin. As always, if this is your first pick roulette, we give the names a shuffle 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to give the wheel a spin and see who is going to win. So let's keep an eye out for this to see if we can see Deborah's name going through. And it's still going too fast in order to spot, but it is now slowing down. So let's take a look at what's going to be happening. I still haven't seen Deborah's name, but Joan just gone through. G. Brennan. Oh gosh, it's going to be a close one. Is it going to get as far as Mary? It might do, but Michelle, I think it's just going to overtake. Or is it going to be Susan? I think it might. Is it going to be Michelle? Is it going to stop? There it is. So, congratulations to Michelle, who has won tonight's pick roulette. Let me just move that across a little bit so we can see Michelle's name there. And commiserations to everybody else, including Deborah, for, I mean, that is her own fault for being the top tip for today. Again, I have a 0% record of picking the winner, but congratulations to Michelle. And if you can let yourself be known in that live chat room, and if, yeah, you can do that for Carla in order for her to get the details off you, in order to send you the signed Wings of Pegasus pick. And yeah, congratulations again. Commiserations to everybody else. And maybe next time it'll be your lucky time. And by the way, we do another pick roulette on Tuesdays if we do hit the lights goal then. So you can double your chances, as I always say. On a Tuesday, if you're going to tune in on a Tuesday and a Saturday, you can double your chances of winning, as Michelle has done tonight. So again, congratulations, Michelle, and commiserations to everybody else. But there's always the next time. Let me remove that and get everything off screen, because we can now, because we've had the pick roulette, if you want to get your name on the pick roulette next week, then type I agree and tag Carla Murray in the live chat room, because we have hit our likes goal. We are at 314, so thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. I'm going to give an example of what to type in. At Carla, and then if you type at Carla and then Carla Murray's name pops up, you click on it and then type in I agree, exclamation mark. And you might be able to see my comment going through, but you might also see other people starting to get their I agrees in. And this will mean that they will be on the pick roulette wheel next week and have a chance to win the signed Wings of Pegasus pick, which you can actually see here. There it is, and it's signed on the back there. So look out for the next pick roulette coming your way on Tuesday, but get in your entries now by typing I agree and tagging Carla for next week's pick roulette. So let's have a little look over on Patreon to see what has been requested. Sometimes we play a filled tune, sometimes we play a song. It just depends what has been requested. Let's have a little look down. I can see that Karen requested a filled tune, but also Cindy's requested Haunted. Let me just scroll down, and maybe we'll have a little listen to Haunted to give you guys more of a chance to type I agree in that live chat room. Let me just scroll up, see if anybody else requested Haunted, because if not, then it might be the case that we look at a fill tune instead. I'm going to throw this out to you guys live in that chat room. So we're either going to have a song, probably Haunted, from my album Persistence, or one of my cartoons, one of the real life stories. So I'm now keeping my eyes fixed on the live chat room to see which one is going to go through. And it looks like Leanne and Carla have requested Haunted. So is going to be there. Oh, and Matrix X said, can we get a guitar with pick with a smiley face? And that is something that if we do hit 200,000 subscribers, then there will be a guitar, a real life guitar on the pick roulette wheel. So that's going to make things a little bit more interesting. You can actually pick yourselves up an actual guitar, which will get sent off to you if we do hit 200,000 subscribers. But yeah, it's a little way in the future at the moment, but just so you know. Yeah, so Matrix X there was a little bit more accurate than maybe they realized with that comment. Anyway, let's have a little listen to Haunted, and thank you for requesting this over on Patreon, and also just for backing this up. And I hope you guys enjoy it. It's from my album called Persistence, as I said. Last chance to type I agree in that live chat room, and I'll see you guys after this. Rock!
Rain falls outside my window.
And there we have it. That was my song called Haunted, and you can pick that up at wingsofpegasus.com along with my album. You can get the songs individually there if you want as well. So wingsofpegasus.com/music if you want to go straight to the music section. So we are going to be calling things to a close pretty soon. We've got a few minutes left, but let me just jump into the super chat window because there have been a few donations in there. Thank you guys for those. And it was Rich that I mentioned before, going through that live chat room. Thank you for that $5. And Silat13 has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that. And Rich has donated $5 again. So another thank you to Rich. And the message is, my part of the world burning in wildfire in California tonight. And I'm super stressed. So out of the blue. Any comments on U2's The Unforgettable Fire? So thank you for that, Rich. And I'm sorry to hear about the crazy weather conditions. It's something that seems to be taking off all over the place, all over the planet at the moment. Just extreme weather conditions and fires, forest fires and droughts and you name it. And then strangely cold weather for the time of year. That's what we've had in the UK, but then randomly a few days of being really warm and then back to cold. So yeah, it's all a bit crazy. In terms of U2 and The Unforgettable Fire, this is, I mean, I didn't really get heavily into U2. There were a few tracks that I listened to, or I think like most people, I'm more aware of their hits rather than whole albums of work. But I know that from that album was In the Name of Love, or there's Pride in the Name of Love, was a monster hit from that album, if I remember correctly. But I don't really know a lot about the album in particular, other than it being a little bit different, I think, from the other albums, or certainly their previous stuff, which is more kind of rock-edged or hard rock-edged. So, yeah, in terms of, I think, changing direction sometimes can be a refreshing idea, or it's not about changing the sound or the ethos of the band. This is something that I mentioned on the last live stream, that you can still change your sound without conforming to, say, for example, a record label who are forcing a band to change their sound. I think with U2, they're always in control of their sound and they consciously want to change the direction, as they did with that album. But it's never going to be not a U2 sound. I mean, Bono's just got such a unique vocal anyway that no matter what the nature of their songs and performances, it's always going to sound like U2. Because, I mean, when you talk about The Edge as well, you've got elements that when they come together, they're unique in their own way, so that whatever they play, they're always going to sound like U2. And that's the great thing about top bands, is they've got their own sound, and certainly they fall under that heading, under that category, which there aren't very many bands that fall into that category. But anyway, thank you for that, Rich. And just to jump into the PayPal window, I think we're okay with the super chat window, so thank you for the super chat donations tonight. And just scrolling up, Lara has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that. Should I say Laura, not Lara? Laura has donated £10. So yeah, almost a new name there for you, Laura. So I don't know, maybe a nickname that can be your AKA. And the message is, Phil, one of the things that keeps you young is not getting sad about things you can't control. By the way, your hair is looking great tonight. So thank you for that, Laura. And well, I had a haircut on Wednesday, was it? Yes, so a few days ago. So at the moment, my fringe is just falling wherever it wants to fall. And I am at the moment on the road back to trying to get a little bit more volume in in my hair, because my hairdresser went through, I mean, the last haircut that I actually had, loads. I can't believe how much hair comes out after a haircut. Obviously, I know that I've got a lot of hair, but it's almost like clumps of hair coming out. So I'm expecting to be bald after the haircut, but fortunately it still looks alright and there's no bald patch or anything. So yeah, I think I've just got a lot of hair, or it's just very thick. But yeah, I'm trying to get a little bit more volume. I remember years ago that we never used to do any layering or undercutting, whereas we then kind of got into the habit, and my hairdresser got into the habit of giving me an undercut, which means that there's no hair underneath the sides. And before, I had hair under the sides, so it means that the sides would get pushed out because of the hair at the sides, obviously. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I've said that maybe we should get a little bit more volume, but I still have a little bit of an undercut going on there, so maybe I'll raise that with my hairdresser the next time as to whether we allow the sides to grow out a little bit more. I do not know. We will see. But one thing that is noticeable, that with less hair, it's less hot. So that's the bonus, but I'll just have to work out the kind of image I want to get with the hair. We will see. But anyway, Mario is in the house, as we know, and has donated £150. So thank you so much for that very kind donation again, Mario. And the message is, how do you feel? Congratulations on 190,000 subscribers, mate. I've been listening to Wasp lately. Just wanted to say how much of a great band they were. Nice to go back and listen to some of the music I grew up with. Cheers, Mario, with a smiley face. So Wasp, I mean, that's right in my 80s hard rock kind of ballpark. And that is, I mean, it's one of those bands that when I used to go out to the rock clubs when I was in my late teens, myself and Griff would go into London, and yeah, we'd go to the rock clubs there. Wasp were definitely one of those bands that would be regularly on those playlists. So yeah, obviously I didn't catch them the first time round, but certainly in my late teens I did at the clubs. So thank you for that, Mario. And I'm just going to scroll up because there has been another one. Mark has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Mark. And the message is 10 Great British pounds for 10 years. Can you explain what is meant by a punchy sound that a guitar or bass guitar like McCartney's Hofner bass has? So thank you for that, Mark. And again, when we start talking about tone and sounds, kind of thing I could talk about all day. But in terms of punchy, you're looking for something that is quite middle and top-endy, where it's going to cut through. So basically, when you've got a muted sound, something that doesn't have top end or middle in any great amount, it means that the sound is going to be muffled. So when I say muffled, it's like, for example, if I was speaking through my nose mostly, I would sound a little bit like this, and it's not a really punchy sound. So all of the sound, all the top end of my sound there is not cutting through. So I go, like that. You can't really hear it. Whereas if I want to get a punchy sound, a sound that's going to cut through, and I go, I'm now leaning on my diaphragm and I'm getting the top end of my voice, the higher frequencies of my voice, to now be in the sound rather than being a covered sound the whole time and sound like I'm talking through my nose. I'm just employing more of the space of my mouth, opening up that whole resonance chamber of the head to get a more punchy sound. So punchy is something that's going to be more upfront, more in your face, rather than a covered sound, which is not going to be as noticeable. For example, in a mix of a song, if you've got a song that isn't punchy, if you've got a sound, an instrument that isn't punchy, it's not going to cut through the mix. You might be playing a riff, you might be even just stabbing in some rhythm on the bass, or in terms of playing a rhythmic bass line or playing a strong rhythm part, there might be a riff. But if your tone is very dull, it's not going to cut through the mix, whereas you want a little bit of punch, and sometimes you'll have a hint of distortion on there as well to exaggerate the mid-range and the top end so that you get a particular punch to your sound. It cuts through and you notice it, and that pretty much is what's meant by a punchy sound. It's something that is literally hitting you in the face, hence the punchy. It's going to be cutting through the mix. You're going to notice that instrument more than the other instruments. And when you listen out for it, you can definitely hear that particular guitar or that particular bass line being played in the mix. But anyway, thank you for that, Mark. Like I said, I mean, there's probably lots of different levels that I can go into, but as a general idea, that's a good way to think of it. Just going to scroll up because Janet has donated £6.95. Thank you for that. And the message is, Phil, would you say Paul McCartney is a musical genius, as I do? So thank you for that, Jeanette. And I think pretty much he's of that very top level, being a great musician, but I mean in terms of everything, songwriter as well, songwriter, instrumentalist, vocalist, fantastic range, like just singing, having that control, being a backing singer, harmonizing. So he's got so many different skills, multi-instrumentalist as well. So yes, I would say that he's definitely way up there. If you're trying to rank different musicians, I'm not really into doing that. I don't think that you can say that one musician is the best, or give them a score out of 100, because it's subjective. Everyone's got their favorites, but certainly, yeah, I mean, coming from a family as I do, who are big Beatles fans, and my family, my parents especially, are big Beatles fans. So yes, I would say that Paul McCartney for me is way up there, just because of all of those abilities. Like sometimes you'll just get a great singer, or a great singer who's a great instrumentalist who can't really write a song, but then you might have a great songwriter who then can't sing or play an instrument to a high level. So yeah, Paul McCartney is one of those that can do so many different things to a high level. But thank you for that, Jeanette. And just scrolling up, we are going to be calling things to a close very soon, but Patricia has donated £2 as well. Thank you for that, Patricia. The message is, hi Phil, congrats on the 190,000 subscribers. Is Halloween a thing in Britain? You should do a spooky Hallows Eve live stream. October 30th haunted would be the video, of course. You've already analysed Edgar Winter Frankenstein. Yes, who could you analyse? So thank you for that, Patricia. And I don't know about the analysis, I'll have to think of something. But I might have done a Halloween or something that was themed, a live stream that was a themed Halloween one. I'm sure I remember doing something like that, in which case I might be able to find it on my live stream software, or have to re-import it, I don't know. But we will see. I'm not even sure when Halloween is. We definitely have it here, but it's one of those nights that for me it just is like, and if it falls on an analysis night, I just do a normal analysis video, and I'm totally unaware that anything's happening outside. So we will see. But if it does fall on a live stream evening, then I will be able to do that. So thank you for that, Patricia, for that request. And just mentioning that Rich has donated $30 again, and I'm gonna have to call the live stream to an end. It's 20. We usually finish at 15 minutes past 1 in the morning. So thank you for joining me tonight. I know that I'm already a couple of hours behind. I'm trying to make up time from when I had to do the 3 edits the other night. So I've got lots of stuff to be getting on with. But thank you, Rich, for that $30 donation. The message is, surely you have a comment on In Agada Davida by I Am Butterfly. So thank you for that. And yes, I mean, I'll have to get into that one in the future. But thank you guys for joining me tonight on the live stream, for all of the likes, for everyone really subscribing, getting us up to 190,000 subscribers on the channel, and we'll see where we end up. I know that 200,000 has been mentioned on this live stream, but we will see what happens with that in the future. Hopefully things can just continue thanks to your support over on Patreon. Thank you everyone at the bottom of the screen, and thank you for all of your support during this live stream, but just on the channel in general. And big shout out to the moderators, and really, we're going to wrap this up very quickly. So thank you, moderators. Thank you for all of the super chat donations and the donations in the PayPal window as well. I'm going to catch you guys over on Patreon, I mean, all the time you guys know that I do an update there every night, and also on the admin days when I don't do that, I'll keep you updated as to the situation with June and what we're going to be doing that for, what we're going to be approaching in terms of how we're going to organise that for next month's analysis video, joint analysis video that I'll do with June Millington next week, but not next week, next month. But next week, join me on Tuesday night if you can for the live stream. I'm going to be doing another analysis video tomorrow night, and another analysis video Wednesday night after the live stream on Tuesday night. We're going to be having a pick roulette as well. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. I'm going to have to call it to a close now to get into the messages to try and catch up. But have a great rest of the weekend, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!